Good morning. Good morning. Very chatty here. Hi, Deb.
Hi, how you doing, Nancy?
I know it's very loud here at the moment.
Okay.
They're all talking about the Halloween party, I guess, the community
Oh,
Halloween party.
I saw some photos. Yeah, look like fun. Yeah.
All right. Hope you both have a couple of blocks handy and a blanket or towel to sit on or use in Shavasana. We're going to get started in just a minute. All right, and then we've got our friends joining us from their homes. Steve, will you sign Deb in? Deb Ruff, Roughh, and then who's the other person that's joined us? It just says iPad.
It's me, Olivia.
It's what?
Olivia.
Olivia. Okay, great. All right. Got you both signed in. All right. All right. Well, sounds like it was a fun weekend here. Good. Safe. Good. Well, welcome Monday morning yoga. Yay. Come tomorrow for spooky. Maybe a little Halloween fun. I know. I pulled out my playlist. Last year I taught them Halloween, so I have a very special playlist. Halloween music. Might be a costume. Yeah. All right. So just come to a comfortable seat to start. Crossing the legs or sitting up on your block or 2 blocks. And just to start to take a minute to tune in and feel like you're here, like you've arrived. And I'm going to ring the bell and just taking a minute of just silence to tune in, give you the opportunity to tune into your own breath. Feel your sits bones rooting down. Soften the eyes, sit up nice and tall. So see if you can find where your lower back's not rounding, but you can grow tall in your spine. Bring the chin parallel with the earth. And allow your attention to move toward the middle of your brain. Let the tongue drop away from the roof of your mouth. Let it be just soft in your mouth. Start the minute right now. And just keep your eyes soft or closed and just make some observances. Are you comfortable in that minute of silence? Was your mind wandering? Or was it calm? How was your breath? Was it full or jagged? Just making these observances without any judgments. So at the core of the yoga practice from the ancient teachings are the yamas and the niyamas, making up the first two limbs of the 8-limb path of yoga. So the first limb, the 5 yamas, they ask us to avoid violence, lying, stealing, wasting energy, and possessiveness. The very first yama is ahimsa, translated as nonviolence, but also stands for living a life of kindness and compassion for yourself and others in the world around you. Nonviolence is so valued in the yoga practice that it stands as the very first of the yamas, the very first of the 8-limb path. So valued that in India, excuse me, they're introduced to children and practiced before learning any physical or asana or pranayama. So coming from a foundation of non-harming, budding yogis and yoginis could approach the asana practice with the intention of calming and caring for the body rather than conquering it by force. So just think about that for a moment. Let that resonate. So when you're in your asana physical practice, have the intention of calming and caring versus forcing yourself into any pose. Shifting our intention to simply taking the time to be with ourselves in a nurturing, non-judgmental way. That's practicing nonviolence. Just being present without an agenda. Accepting our bodies and our minds as they are. So rather than work toward or need to improve any poses or yourself, just simply allow the asana to experience to unfold moment by moment today. So bring your hands with that, bring your hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Set your intention for your practice. Anything that resonated with you, maybe just repeat the word ahimsa. Non-violence. Opening with the sound of Om. So we'll do 3 Oms. Actually, it's sort of a meditative approach. It's called rolling Oms. So we'll go for about a minute and literally just Om as it comes to you. So let's let the Oms unfold moment by moment. So as soon as you inhale the breath, then Om on your exhale. And don't worry about if you're matching what your neighbor's pace is. So I'll kick it off and then we'll finish with the chime of the bell. So take an inhale and exhale the breath out. And just let your Oms continue to come with each exhale. Oh. Slowly flicker the eyes open. And let's start on our backs this morning. So just moving the blocks out of the way. Come all the way onto your back. Corpse pose. Get it? And start to float your arms overhead as you point your toes on your inhale. And on your exhale, lower the arms alongside your body and pull the toes towards you, flexing the feet. And just move like that at your own pace. Inhale the arms overhead, pointing the toes. Exhale the arms alongside you and pulling the toes towards you, flexing the feet. Push through the heels. A couple more times. Inhale the arms overhead and point your toes. Exhale the arms alongside your body. Pull the toes towards you. Push through the heels. 2 more times. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, lowering. 1 more time. Inhale, feel that natural arch form in your back. On your exhale, arms alongside. Really feel the whole middle part of your back pressing into the mat. Stay there. And then point and flex and roll your ankles around. So roll in one direction, circle in one direction, and then circle in the other direction. Circle your wrists out. And then hug the knees into your chest. Feel like you're giving yourself a hug. Lift your forehead up to your knees. Breathing into the back of the neck. Find some length. Find some length between your ears and your shoulders. And then lower the head back down. Hold your right knee into your chest as you extend your left leg out onto the mat. Keep that left foot flexed. Push through the heel. Take your right knee out to the side, making some circles. A couple times in this direction, and then when you get back to center, reverse it. Maybe place the left hand on the left hip. Keep that left foot flexed. Keep it active. Now drop the right leg down, but keep the knee bent. So you're coming into tree pose on your back. The sole of your right foot inside of the left leg. And then bring the arms out to the side. Form a T, palms face up. And now make cactus arms, goalpost arms, and press the arms into the floor. So feeling a little bit of opening for the heart space, for the chest. Next, inhale, straighten the arms into a wide V, growing the branches of your tree here on your back. Keep pressing through the left heel. So imagine like you're standing on it. That left leg is the trunk. Gently breathing into this right hip, opening it up, maybe feeling it in this outer hip flexor. Maybe feeling it in the shoulders. You can press into the back of your head a little bit to glide the shoulder blades under to help allow the upper back to soften against the floor. One more breath in and out. Sweep the arms down and extend that right leg out long to come alongside the left leg, keeping the feet flexed so your toes are pointing up to the ceiling. Start lifting your chin to your chest so you're looking at your big toes. Maybe float the arms up a little bit. Feel the engagement in your lower abdominal muscles. We're going to breathe in and out. Maybe add a little bit here by lifting the heels just a little bit off the mat or not. Depending on how you feel this morning, you're still getting some engagement in the core with the heels on the floor just by lifting your chin to your chest. One more breath in. And then exhale, lower down, hug that left knee into your chest. Make those circles. So take that left knee out to the side. Couple times, one direction, right hand resting on the right hip, and then reverse that circle. Keeping the right foot flexed. Try and keep that right leg active. And let this left knee drop down to the floor, sole of the foot coming to the inside of the leg. And let's take our arms out to the sides, forming a T to start, palms face up. Then bend the elbows, cactus arms or goalpost arms, pressing the backs of your arms into the floor to help open across the chest. Keep that right foot flexed, right leg active, just like you're standing on it. And then next inhale, extend the arms into a wide V. Maybe pressing into the back of the head a little bit to help the shoulders and the shoulder blades soften against the floor. Breathing in, breathe on your inhale. Feel the inhale come from your heel up that leg, that right leg that's grounding you. Feel the breath move all the way out through the fingertips. I'm just noticing the sensations here, remembering this for when we're standing in tree. And next exhale, slide your arms down, bring that left knee to center, hug your knees into your chest, rock from side to side. And then take the legs up to the ceiling. Take the arms out to the sides, bring them so they're about 20 to 30 degrees away from the body, palms face down so you can press into your arms and hands for some support here. So inhale the breath. On your exhale, lower your left leg. Make sure it doesn't drop to the floor all the way. Keep it about an inch off the mat. And then inhale, lift that left leg back up. Exhale, lower the right leg to about an inch off the floor, off the mat. And inhale that right leg back up. So we're going to move with our breath. Exhale that left leg down. And inhale it back up. Exhale, lowering the right leg. And inhale it back up. So keep moving like that. Everybody feeling that in the belly? Notice what part of the belly you're feeling this in. So move with control, move with mindfulness. Beautiful. So pressing into the arms and palms may give you a little bit more support here. Isolating the muscles that you're using in the abdominal area. And for adding a little extra, lift your chin to your chest. Watching each leg lower, lowering on the exhale, lifting it up on your inhale. We could do this all day. All right, finishing up. So last one on the right side. And then hug the knees back into your chest. That I'm sure will feel good. Rock a little bit from side to side. And then we're gonna rock up to a seat. So bring your hands underneath your knees. Or if rocking is not what you feel like doing right now, you can roll to your right side and rock yourself up to a seat that way. So come all the way up, extend your legs out long in front of you. Grab your right knee into your chest. Keep your left foot flexed. Take the right foot over your left leg, coming into our twist. So bring right hand behind you. You can always prop your right hand up on a block to help get you a little bit more lift. Left arm lifts up by the ear, and we twist to the right. So finding a tall spine in the twist really helps create space in the pelvis. Also, try and press into the toe ball mount of that right foot. So if you find that you're able to press that toe ball mount, notice what happens in the pelvis. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Maybe turning the head a little bit more to look over that right shoulder. One more breath in. On your exhale, come through center and counter twist gently to the left. Full breath in and out. And then come to center, release that right leg, windshield wiper, or shake out the legs a little bit. Maybe rock forward to move the flesh away from the sits bones to sit up nice and tall again. Draw that left knee in toward your chest, step it over the right leg. Left hand coming behind. Right arm lifts up, finding length, and then we move into the twist. Breathe in. Start with your head facing your sternum, chin parallel with the earth, and let this unfold breath by breath. Pressing into the toe ball mound now of the left foot. Maybe now adding the head turning to look toward the left shoulder. Full breath in and down. One more inhale and exhale, and then come through center, counter twist to the right. Oh, that feels good. And then come to center, release that left leg, shake out the legs, windshield wiper the feet, and then we'll cross up the ankles and roll forward to come to tabletop. Let's bring our blocks under our hands. So just exploring tabletop with support of the blocks. So lowest level, they're under and slightly in front of your shoulders. So notice how my wrists are in front of my shoulders a little bit. My fingers are spread, so my pinkies are wrapping around one side of the block, my thumbs wrapping around the other. Second, third, fourth fingers pressing into the block, and then start to let your tailbone lift, your crown lifts as we come into cow pose. On your exhale, draw the navel toward the spine, round the shoulders, round the spine, tuck your tailbone, chin to chest. Inhale, come into cow pose. And exhale into cat. Inhale. connection with breath and movement, rounding into cat pose. One more time into cow and into cat. And then come to neutral. Take your knees wider toward the edges of your mat and bring your toes toward each other. Push your seat toward your heels. Keep the hands on the blocks and slide the blocks out forward a little bit. So your arms are fully extended, head coming in between the arms. So your chest is not moving all the way to the earth. Feeling the opening more in the shoulders. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale to lift back up to tabletop. And then take the blocks, bring them back. So again, they're not directly under your shoulders, just a little in front. Extend your right leg back behind you. And then draw the right knee into the chest as we step, and you can shimmy that foot forward so it comes in between the blocks. Come up on the fingertips, and then we're gonna float up to Anjani Asana. Shoulders stack with your hips. Take that wide V with your arms again. Notice the space between your shoulders and your ears. Draw the arms towards your ears again, but keep that space between the shoulders and the ears. And now interlace the fingers, bring them behind the head, cradle the head into the hands, take your elbows back, reach the heart space up toward the sky. Full breath in, and then exhale, arms back down to the blocks, and step that right knee back, tabletop. Extend the left leg back. Draw the knee into the chest and step that left foot forward in between the blocks. And we inhale, sweeping the arms up by the ears. Draw the belly in. Wide V the arms. When you notice the space between shoulders, how much softer they are in this wide V, then bring the arms closer together. Interlace the fingers, cradle the head, draw the elbows back, and lift that heart space up to the sky. Inviting in that loving kindness, non-violent thoughts. And then sweep the arms back down to the blocks. Take that left knee back. This time, keeping the knees closer together, push back to another child's pose with your arms extended and on hands on the blocks. And maybe just rock a little bit from side to side. Inhale, float back up to tabletop. And then rock the body forward. So you're starting to drop your hips toward the earth, but then circle your hips over to the right. Circle them back by your heels, over to the left, and just come through center. Make another big circle. Some Rice Krispies. Another big circle. So just making this your own organic movement. Reverse the circle when you come back to center. Use your breath. So really use that inhale and exhale to move in this circle. If there's a side you want to linger on for a little bit, go ahead. And then coming back to center. Slowly bend the elbows, rock the body forward and lower. Right in between the blocks. Slide the blocks out to the side. Bring the hands by your lowest set of ribs. Hug the elbows in, separate your legs a little bit where you feel relief in your sacrum. Gaze looking down on your next inhale. Feel the breath lift you up, healing you up into Cobra, Bhujangasana. And exhale, lower down. 2 more of those. Inhale. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, lower down. Tuck your toes under. Push yourself to tabletop. Round the back into cat. Then straighten the legs. Hips lift you into downward facing dog. So when we move from cat pose, we're organically growing into downward dog. Pedal out your downward dog. Take your dog for a walk. If there's a lot of weight in your wrists, come down to your forearms. If it's too much weight bearing for your wrists, you can always opt for forearms. Or you can try the positioning of your hands. Press into your thumbs, press into your index finger, press into the tips of the 3rd, 4th, 5th fingers. So it lifts the middle part of that palm off of the mat and distributes the weight so we don't dump into the wrists. And then lift your gaze to look between your hands and walk your feet up to the top of your mat, one leg at a time. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, lift up halfway. This time, now flip the arms out to the sides. Bend your knees and sweep the arms to lift you up to stand. Hands for heart center. Tadasana. So find your mountain pose for a moment. Look down. See if your feet are symmetrical, about hip distance apart. Rock forward and back a couple times. So you really feel the balls of your feet and then the weight distributing to your heels. And then root down, ground down. Notice the weight distribution here. Notice it's more in the heels. Notice your stature. Imagine there's roots coming down from the bottom of your feet, connecting you with the earth, rooting you down. And then we're going to take our right leg, bring it behind the left. See if you can get the sides of your feet to be together. And then bring your hands to your hips. Start hinging forward. Lead with the heart. Halfway might be your edge. If it is, stay there. If you can reach for one of your blocks and bring it to the highest and bring fingertips to it, that's an option, or palms, or just continue to play with how you can lower down, keeping the lengthening of your spine. And if you're halfway, that's a beautiful place to be. Breathe into the sensations. Full breath in, full breath out. And then everybody start lifting up, hands to hips, press into your feet to lift up. You stand, release that right leg, bring yourself back to mountain pose, Tadasana. And then we'll take that on the other side. So bringing that left foot behind the right. Edges of the feet together, hands to hips. Start to hinge forward. Come to your edge and then start playing around. Use the support of the block. Full breath in. Full breath out. Start lifting back up halfway, hands to hips, pressing into the feet. Release that left foot and then just shake out the legs. Feel good? Good stretch. All right, let's do a little side bending. Inhale the arms overhead. Interlace the fingers. Extend the index fingers, pointing straight up. Notice your spine here. Separate your feet. Make sure they're about hip distance apart. You don't want them together. You want a little bit of space for your pelvis for the side bend. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, side bend to the left. Reaching those index fingers out long. One more breath here. Inhale and exhale, and then inhale, coming through center, and exhale to the right. So as we reach those index fingers toward this wall, we open up the left side body. One more breath in and out. Inhale through center. One more time over to the left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale to center. Try not to look down to the floor, but having the arms in line with your ears, the chest opening versus collapsing down. So really try and open up. And inhale through center. Dive forward, coming into forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, bend your knees, step both feet back to plank pose, and then pitch your body forward a little bit, lowering your knees. Hug the elbows in as we lower chin and chest. Snake the body forward onto the belly, and then on the inhale, lifting up into cobra. And exhale, lower down, tuck the toes under, find tabletop, round the back into cat pose, and then straighten the legs. Come into your downward facing dog. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and out. One more breath in. Exhale it out. Look between your hands, walk your feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway, and exhale, fold. Float the arms out to the sides, little bend of the knees, lift the upper body, straighten the legs, arms float overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, mountain pose, Tadasana. So finding now a 90-degree angle, so a little balance here if you want to make your way to a wall or the wood if you're more comfortable off the mat. Feet are about hip distance apart, and then root down through your left foot. Begin lifting the right knee to 90-degree angle. Half staff pose. And if you fall out of it, just come back in. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Turn your right knee out to the side. And then tree pose. So for those who bring their foot to the inside of your thigh, you can reach down, put it in place. For those who are bringing it to the inside of your calf, go ahead and move it down. And that right arm is staying there for growing the branches of your tree. Or you can bring your right toes to the floor. But that heel is coming in toward the left leg. And then for the branches of your tree, so just like we were on our backs. Create space between your shoulders and ears. Keep your gaze fixed on a drishti. Float the arms down, release that leg. Inhale the arms overhead, taking a forward fold in between sides. So let gravity help you here. Hold opposite elbows, let the head hang, maybe rock sway, just like an elephant trunk. Breathe in and sigh it out through the mouth. Let it go. And release that bind. Bend your knees. Still hang as you roll up one vertebrae at a time. Coming back to mountain pose, Tadasana. Find your grounding, your rooting down. Weight shifts into the right foot as we lift the left knee, half staff, arms coming up to the ears. One more breath in and out here, and then finding your tree. So this right hand might help stabilize you as you bring the left foot inside thigh or inside calf, or the toes can rest on the floor. And then when you're ready, growing the branches of your tree. If you feel any overarching in the back, lengthen down through your tailbone. Gaze fixes on a drishti. Letting this unfold moment by moment. And then releasing. Let's inhale the arms overhead and float down into Uttanasana, forward fold. Take any option you want. So you can have fingertips on a block, you can have fingertips on a floor, or if you like that feeling of holding opposite elbows, take that. And then release. If you were holding a bind, inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, and step both feet back to plank. Exhale, lifting the hips, come into downward facing dog. Full breath in and out. Inhale the right leg, lifting it up just a little bit so your hips are still level. This is three-legged dog. Draw that right knee into your chest and step it forward so it comes behind the hands. Drop that left heel down. Keep bending the right knee as you float the arms up behind you, Superman arms, the belly lifting off that right thigh. A good check-in spot here, so your right knee is tracking with the second toe. Your left leg fully extended. Reach the crown of the head forward, and then inhale, sweep the arms up, bringing you into warrior one. Full breath in and out. Full breath in. Exhale, the arms behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Try and bring palms to touch, to open across the heart space. And then we're going to lead with the heart as we bow forward into humble warrior. Inhale to lift back up. Release those arms back up by the ears. Then bring hands to hips. Step your left foot in a little bit and turn the toes toward the front of the mat. but the legs are on two different planks of wood. Coming into pyramid pose. So start here with the chest lifting up, and then we're going to hinge forward, just like we did when we had the one leg behind the other. And then maybe reach for your blocks to place under the shoulders. Pyramid pose, both legs are straight. Drawing that right hip back. You can deepen this to any point, bringing the chest toward that right knee, or you can stay halfway lifted, but try and keep a long spine. So straighten that front leg. One more breath in and out. And then hands come to hips, bringing yourself back up to stand. Bend that right knee. We're going to come back to our plank pose. Exhale into downward facing dog. So we can move into the other side. Take a full breath in. Use downward dog almost like a rest pose. What a concept. Inhale, left leg. Three-legged dog. Level out those hips. Toes are pointing down to the earth. Draw that left knee into your chest. Step it forward. Drop that right heel down, turning those toes out a little bit. So we start with Superman arms. Bend this left knee. So we're checking in with it. It's tracking with the second toe. And then on an inhale, arms sweep us into warrior one. Full breath in and out. Inhale on the exhale, taking the hands behind your back, interlace. If you can bring those palms together, reaching the knuckles for the floor, and then lead with the heart as you bow forward into humble warrior. Inhale to lift back up, releasing the arms up by the ears. Then hands to hips. We're going to step that right foot forward a little bit, turning the toes more toward the front of the mat. Straighten both legs. Then start hinging forward, finding pyramid pose. So ideally, your sacrum is level. You keep reaching the crown of the head forward. Maybe find this midway point, hands to blocks. And then maybe with each breath, let it unfold, drawing the chest toward that left leg. One more, inhale. Exhale, maybe a little deeper, and then inhale to lift back up, hands coming to your hips, pressing into your feet. And this time, just step that right foot forward, finding mountain pose. Inhale, the arms, sweep them overhead, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. And then exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, and step both feet back to plank. Lower down, your choice, either knees, chest, chin, or drop the knees and lower the whole upper body, or if anyone would like to practice chaturanga, they can. We inhale, lifting up into cobra. If anybody did chaturanga, upward facing dog, lowering down. And then let's all meet in child's pose. So push your seat to your heels. Maybe take a wide-legged child's pose. So separate the knees. This time, just letting the heart melt toward the earth. Let the arms be soft. Maybe the elbows coming out to the sides a little bit to help you melt down. So just find softness here. soften the belly. Feel the fullness of your breath. Try and focus only on feeling the inhale and exhale of your breath. And then slowly walk your hands back. So you're coming to sit on your heels, rock off on one hip or the other, and swing your legs around. Slide your sits bones towards your heels, and come down onto your back. Reach your arms out. So see if you can feel the backs of your heels with your longest finger. If you can't, walk your feet in a little closer. Have your feet in line with your knees, in line with your hips, and then bend your elbows. Bring your arms, the upper arms, in close to your side body. And we're going to press into the backs of our arms, your fingers. So your arms are bent and your fingers are spread. Fingers pointing up to the sky. So coming into our back bend here, press into the backs of your arms and your elbows. Inhale as you lift your hips up. Keep pressing into the backs of your arms. Notice your shoulder blades are starting to come together. So allow them to continue to come together. Scoot the arms in a little tighter. And then hold here, lifting your hips up. And breathing in and out in this bridge pose. Notice how your shoulder blades are kind of squeezing together underneath because of that pressing into the upper arms. One more breath in. On your exhale, release. Release, let those shoulders go wide again. We're going to take one more just like that. So hug the arms into your side body. Press into the backs of your arms, your elbows as you lift the hips up. Squeeze the shoulders together, pressing into the upper arms. Maybe you squeeze so much that you can then reach for your heels and then see if you can interlace your fingers under your back. And if the back's not lifted high enough, then don't worry about that. Just keep practicing that pressing into the arms. Draw the shoulder blades toward each other. Notice the sensations in your chest and heart space. If your knees have flared out a little bit, engage in the glutes, fire up your glutes. Beautiful, everyone. Release that grass and let your shoulders come out to then lower one vertebrae at a time. Hug the knees into your chest and then let them drop over to the left side. Extend the right arm out long. Left arm can extend out so the arms are like a T, or that left hand can rest on top of the right leg. If the back is especially tight today, you can put a block in between your thighs for some support. Ideally, you want your legs to be making a 90-degree angle. So the knees are more in line with the navel. And then that right palm faces up to help that right shoulder soften. One more full breath in, really trace it. Visualize the air. Exhale it out with a sigh, release those toxins. Next inhale, bring the knees back to center. and find neutral. And we're gonna keep hugging the knees in toward your chest as you rock them down to the right side. See if you can make that 90-degree angle again with your legs. Feet are a little flexed. You can roll that left shoulder under a little bit, finding your twist on the side. And just visualize this massage for the intestines, for the stomach, for the spine. Moving any blocked areas, any toxins that are stored in the body that we want to release. Inviting in non-violence, non-violent thoughts. Next inhale, bring the knees back to center. Let the feet drop to the mat, reach for your block. Slide the block under your sacrum at the lowest height. So finishing with a little supported shoulder stand here for an inversion this morning before we move into the rest pose. So then bring your feet up, so knees find 90 degrees. If you really feel like that block supporting under your sacrum, then extend one leg up at a time. If you need to readjust, once you found that 90 degrees, make any adjustment you need. Arms are out to the sides, a comfortable distance from your body, maybe not quite as a T, but you just to feel some softening in the shoulders. So light pressure in the back of the head. Feeling the sensations of reversing the direction of our circulation. So beneficial for our lymphatic system and for our endocrine system, which then helps our overall well-being. Really feeling the breath move the fluids down from your heels. Notice the sensations in your hips and sits bones. One more breath in. On your exhale, slowly rebend the knees, bringing the feet to the mat. Press into your feet to lift up off the block. And then heel toe your feet out as wide as your mat. Let your knees and thighs fall together. And just find a comfortable distance between your heels and your sits bones. So you can move the feet toward the top of your mat. Just find that comfortable distance. Bring your hands to your belly. Take a full inhale and sigh it out. 2 more breaths like that, feeling the rise and fall of the belly beneath your hands. Inhale through the nose. On this exhale, bring your lips closer together and exhale, pretending you're exhale through a straw. And then settle into your natural breath. You can release the arms, or if they're comfortable where they are, keep them there. Settling into your final rest. So this might feel good for your low back, keeping the knees bent. So You can stay here for your whole rest, or if you prefer to straighten the legs out onto the mat, you can. Or corpse pose. Finding stillness here in your Shavasana, allowing the whole backside of your body to melt into the support beneath it. Know that you are no longer needing to hold yourself up. Taking a body scan, noticing where you're holding yourself up and each part of the body. So starting with the head, allow it to soften, allow the jaw to soften, the eye sockets. Allow the space between the ears and the shoulders to grow and soften the neck. Softening down the arm. Feel the back release into the support beneath you just a little bit more. Notice if you're engaged anywhere in the glutes or the pelvis, belly. Release any engagement in the thighs. Letting go of any effort here. Bringing your awareness to the middle of your brain. Feeling the tongue soften in your mouth. Start to deepen your breath and invite small movements to come back into the body. Wiggling fingers, toes, circling wrists and ankles. Maybe float the arms overhead on an inhale and then draw knees into your chest on your exhale. Rolling onto your right side and extend that right arm out so your head can rest on it. And as you continue to deepen your breath, sharing these final words. The 8 limbs of yoga are an elegant framework in which to grow your practice. As the first yama, ahimsa is the foundation of the practice. We can practice in daily life through our relationships and choices, and on our mats by shifting our intentions for practice, letting go of any ideas about how your practice should be and relax into what it actually is. So just feel the residue right now of your practice here in this nourishing fetal position. Take one more deep breath in and out, and then start circling your way up to a seat, keeping the eyes soft or closed. Once you've made your way up to a seat, bringing your hands to your heart center, a soft bow towards your heart to thank yourself for being here. I thank you for being here, always just humbled and honored to lead you all in this practice. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Let's close with the sound of Om. Cleansing breath, inhale, exhale it out. Namaste. Thank you. Welcome back to our seasonal friends. Glad you made your way back to the land of eternal sun. Deb and Olivia.
Thank you.
But thanks for bringing some cooler weather. Loving this one.
Have a good one. Thank you.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Tomorrow, 10 o'clock for intermediate yoga, and Wednesday, yoga and meditation at 1:30. Both are Zoomed as well.